Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and we are about to start coverage of Sam and Max Save the World, Episode 5, Reality 2.0. But before we get to that, I have to make the same announcement I've made at the beginning of every episode. These programs just don't run by default in Windows 10. Doesn't seem like they ran in Windows 7 or Windows 8 either. If you need help or a description on how to get them to run, the little configuration that needs to be done to get it to run in windowed mode at least, they won't run it full screen at all, at least in my experience. Go over to episode 1, number 1 of my series for Sam and Max Save the World. If I don't explain it in the first few minutes of that video, look down in the comments or ask me a question in the comments, and that's where the support will be if I need to help anybody to get them to run. On top of that, even once you get it in windowed mode, the highest resolution that the menu allows you to select is 1280 by 960, which is not acceptable because if I kept with that thing, your 1080p 1920 by 1080 would have black bars on the side, much like this picture here, which the only reason why you're seeing black bars right now is because they simply didn't draw anything on the edges of those pictures. Fortunately, there is a separate program called the Telltale Game Resolution tool that allows me to patch into it and force it to run at 1080p, so 95% of the game will look just fine, and there will be images here, uh, but on rare occasions you'll see effects such as fade-ins and such uh, happen in a square in the middle. Sometimes there might be things on the sides that you aren't actually supposed to be able to see. Anyway, that's enough of that announcement. Let's begin. Sam and Max Save the World, Episode 5, Reality 2.0. Last episode was pretty wild. Let's see how it can get any crazier. If it can get any crazier.
Unrest in the Dakotas.
Dispatch equal numbers of giant battle robots to all sides. Whoever survives, claim we backed them all along.
Illegal immigration.
Let the new guys pilot the giant battle robots.
Criticism that your domestic policy is too giant battle robot based.
They can take it up with my new press secretary, the Mametron 9000. If that's the guys from Air Force One, tell them they get the keys back once they say the magic word.
Quiet, Max. It's the commissioner. Total collapse of the economy and downfall of Western civilization? Great grinning head of John the Baptist in a pork pie hat stuffed in a rhinestone bowling bag. We're on our way. We've got a computer crisis to take care of, little buddy.
Have they tried turning it off and back on again?
Bigger than that, Max. Computers everywhere are going haywire. Planes are falling from the sky. Nuclear reactors are nearing meltdown.
And scores of pasty white nerds will be forced to go outdoors and socialize with normal people.
The horror.
Where do we start, Sam?
The National Consortium of Smart People who are good with computers has been tracking electron surges all over the country, and one of the biggest is right here in our neighborhood.
What an unbelievably convenient coincidence. How do we find an electron surge?
No idea. Let's go.
So, by the way, Max was made president in the last episode. So let's check the donut box. We've been checking it every episode.
Hey, Max, there's a donut missing. You didn't actually eat it, did you?
No, the mold civilization discovered nuclear fusion and accidentally destroyed one of their continents.
If man does not learn from the donut box, he is doomed to repeat it.
They actually zoomed in and said something interesting. Let's, uh, particularly in the last episode, we didn't focus very heavily on the items in the office, so let's just click on everything, see if there's anything, how much is new and how much is going to be old.
Hey, there's a parade coming.
I love a parade.
Oh, sorry. Looks like it's just another angry mob protesting your barbaric school lunch program.
Again? They just don't recognize genius.
I don't want to alarm you, Max, but do you know if Hubert's made out a will?
You bet he has. Why do you think I agreed to take care of him? Won't be long now.
Can't say I'm itching for another ride on a speed pickle. I'm sure we left something on the moon last time we were there.
So far, everything is new. Good.
Hello, is this the Pentagon? This is the President's National Security Advisor. I think the Swiss are up to something. You'd better check it out.
I love that shocked expression they get when the tanks line up along their border.
It's the little things that make being leader of the free world worthwhile.
So, this is great that everything's new. It would have been nice if a lot of these new things were mixed into the previous 4 chapters, because they would
Good for
feel
holding
pretty
up phones,
repetitive.
and that's about it.
Hello, Mr. President. This is Margie, your scheduling assistant, with some changes for this week. You still have impeachment hearings on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, but the one on Wednesday has been pushed back for your war crimes trial. Thanks.
Max, why did you put the Bill of Rights on our dartboard?
House cleaning. Guess what? We no longer have the right to peaceably assemble.
Great.
And next time you're incarcerated, you'll have the choice of cruel or unusual punishment.
I'm beginning to regret voting for the other guy.
Look at the water cooler here and spatula or fish.
Hello, Mr. Vice President.
I'm sorry, Sam, but I have a re-election campaign to think about. And let's face it, you are not a hit with the aquatic voters.
Made the fish the vice president. Wow.
A place to hang coats, or very short outlaws.
Let's check the VCR.
A VCR, which is short for Insert Tapes Here.
See what's on TV.
I guess the computer crisis is affecting television too.
Or ours is just a piece of crap. Either way, this is serious.
See, it says March on this calendar.
Hey, what happened to that charming picture of the recently flattened marsupial?
Turns out you're supposed to flip the page every month.
That'll get old fast. How many islanders had to die to get the lava for our precious lamp?
Interesting. Max's desk.
President Max's throne.
And then there's a date here. It says
I don't even want to
030304.
look at that case again.
I don't know what that was. If that was previous Sam and Max game was released,
Our
I guess.
eviction notice graveyard.
Because they started with releasing this series, Sam and Max, in 2006. So that would have been a couple years before. That would make sense.
Lincoln's Head, still at large.
Let's check
The
our
little
rat
rat's
hole.
not home.
Check Jesse James's hand.
There it is. Jesse James's actual hand.
No, remember that carbon dater said it was only a few
Jesse
years old.
James's actual hand. Amazing.
Oops. So we still have the organic listening device from the previous episode and the boxing glove, and we have our big gun. Always have the big gun. Let's see what's in the closet that's new this time. It's the president's severed head.
Even if he was just a puppet, Max, don't you think it's unsettling to keep the head of the former president inside our closet?
You're right, Sam. We need to get a pike.
Let's click on all the other things. We had Brady Culture was our first villain we defeated.
The fro behind Brady Culture's unfashionable hypnosis plot.
The Hypno Bear was our second villain.
The teddy bear that terrorized a TV station.
And then Leonard was one of the bad guys we dealt with in the third chapter.
Really, Leonard? Okay, maybe later then.
It's missing a finger, too. No explanation. Let's see. thugs and hoodlums.
File cabinet or feng shui nightmare?
And look at our ant
A
farm.
slave colony for the slaver on a budget.
Okay, so there's nothing in this office still. At least not that we see. But they spent the time to revoice some new comments.
We
Do we look
store
in
our
the-
waste here for safekeeping.
And it's still
We store our
repetitive.
waste here for
If you
safekeeping.
click on it, does the old school point-and-click adventure still stands? You click on it 500 times, it says the same thing 500 times. Except for on the rare occasions when you click on it and it doesn't say the different something the same the second time. Some things you do have to click on twice, and it gets rather frustrating trying to decide, is this what the people wanted me to click on or say multiple times, or is this just a regular thing? Oh no, liver and onions have been cancelled.
Wow, they canceled the Liver and Onions concert.
And after only 5 months of trying to sell a ticket.
So the game has probably been out for was out for 5 months when this was released. Let's check out Lefties.
Lefties has been abandoned for ages.
Delivery van. That's new.
Secret serve ice cream? I don't think that's fooling anyone.
Ooh, ice cream? I want some!
Let's look at the posters.
Ferret Lake.
Sequels to beloved classics are always better than the originals.
Yes, Max. Yes, they are.
Look at these.
Stinkies versus the Board of Health.
That's not a fight. Even one Stinky's cockroach could take out the entire Board of Health with 5 appendages tied behind its thorax.
Interestingly, that's the exact reason they're having the hearing. Lost Giraffe.
Oh, I saw him!
Answers to Bobo.
Oh, wrong giraffe then. Mine only answered to Lieutenant Ambrose Applesucker.
Impeach
Beach.
President Max. U.S. out of the Dakotas.
I swear, you torch a couple national forests and everyone wants your head.
Interesting. Let's go see what Sybil's doing. What new job does Sybil have? Beta testing.
Hey, Sybil, have you...
I'm surrounded. Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Stand back, Max. It sounds like Sybil's finally cracked.
It's about time. Her relative stability was making the rest of the neighborhood look bad.
Back, pit demons! With sword of righteous fire, I cast thee away!
This is just like that time we were hired as motivational speakers for that Sunday school.
Actually, now that I look closely, it's more like our last case. And the 3 before that. If there's one thing I've learned to recognize recently, it's a hypnotic device. And those weird glasses are it.
Launch stinging BBs of unholy smiting.
To break her out of the trance, we'll have to deliver a blow to her head.
You know, Sam, when you love what you do, it doesn't even feel like work.
Okay. So we've stumbled into something, and she's drinking a lot of juice. And she's moved her mimeograph machine out of the way. See if she ever could open the closet.
It's locked.
No, it's still locked.
Nothing but waste.
Let's look at the tissues.
Don't worry, I'll sob uncontrollably later, when no one's watching.
Let's look at the couch.
I'm not sure whether to lie on this thing or drive it out of here.
So we need to click on everything again because it's all new dialogue. We'll get it done on the first episode
That's
and
the
then
cutest, ferocious, man-eating beast clock I've ever seen.
see if it's different in the final episode, episode 6.
I still can't believe the Sybil Lincoln sex scandal never made the Times. Diploma Mill College. Graduate in minutes or your money back. The threat of electroshock can turn anyone's frown upside down.
You know what's interesting is I
Incredibly valuable
imagine
historic artifact and incredibly tacky
comedians
decor all rolled into one.
do write about 3 to 5 jokes about anything anyways, so they don't have to be good jokes. Almost none of these are great, gonna roll on the floor laughing jokes, but they can just be decent jokes and have the voice actor read them all.
This fan just blows.
That's pretty good.
Flaming Skull and Crossbones or Flaming 8-Ball? So hard to choose. Skin art.
Like, even when there isn't a response.
Sybil needs a self-cleaning cactus. Incredibly valuable historic artifact and incredibly tacky decor all rolled into one. I've never felt less relaxed. Sybil needs a self-cleaning cactus.
Let's look at the fox.
Jitter Cola is so addictive, even taxidermied foxes can't get enough.
Oh, it's called Jitter Cola. So, let's talk to Sybil before we hit her. Then we'll hit her.
Back, demons! Cast ward of pungent unsavoriness.
Alright. We have a boxing glove. Let's use it on Sybil.
Back, demons! Cast ward of pungent unsavoriness.
I can't get close enough to touch her, Max.
Let's see. Big gun on Sybil.
I can't shoot Sybil.
Oh, we can't, darn.
Okay. Just kidding. I couldn't shoot Max.
Alright. Let's use the boxing glove on Max.
I've got better things to punch.
Let's talk to Max then. In the answer to your next question,
Let me just say preemptively, no, you cannot get a tattoo while we're here.
Not even a screaming lizard skull rising out of a flaming vat of toxic waste that says love on it?
Isn't that the Department of Agriculture logo?
Not yet.
Let's get cracking.
so I don't think we can do anything unless we shoot the fan or something. Nope, I'm not seeing it. I don't think we have enough items yet to break her out of her hypnotized spell or whatever she's in. That's beta testing. Okay. Let's go down this way and see what's new at Bosco's Inconvenience. Oh. Sorry, clicked outside the window. Sometimes that'll happen. The audio messes up. Then it pauses.
For some reason, the parking meters around here always get bent.
I can't click on
Looks
the
like the
dumpster.
Esperanto bookstore is closed again.
Aw, that was fast. Even for this neighborhood.
Let's read the newspapers.
Newspaper office's coffee machine empty for a third straight day.
That's some hard-hitting local reporting.
I guess the reporters are having a tough time adjusting to life without the internet. Lincoln Rampage ends with colorful mushroom cloud.
There's one way to put a positive spin on it.
Majority of DC areas still uninhabitable.
At least some things never change.
President Max adopts alien baby with unidentified life partner. We should sue
For printing unsubstantiated libel?
for giving me second billing. Newspaper office's coffee machine empty
Okay,
for a third
so
straight day.
three
That's some hard-hitting local reporting.
I guess the
new
reporters
news
are having a tough
things.
time adjusting to life without the internet. Lincoln Rampage ends
And
with
it's the
colorful
same
mushroom
in
cloud.
both of them.
There's one way to put a positive spin on it.
Majority of DC areas still uninhabitable.
At least some things never change.
Let's see what's in the gumball machine this month.
This gumball machine looks pretty banged up.
A gang of about 5 dentists came through the other night, and 4 of them just started beating the hell out of it.
What did the fifth one do?
He kept sobbing and saying, "Why can't we all just get along?"
And the cheese is missing from the fire hydrant. That never made any sense either. There's always this piece of cheese here. Stinky's is still closed. Let's go into Bosco's Inconvenience and see what disguise he's in, what he's paranoidly afraid of, and what magical item is he going to give us that we need to solve this episode. Because that's what he does every other time so far, and it's getting played out. What? Oh, surprise me. He's not under disguise, he doesn't greet me, he doesn't do anything. Okay, let's look at the lottery tickets.
Lottery tickets, aka the Donate to Bosco charity.
A cannon.
Hey, hands off the merchandise, pigs.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's look at the magazines.
Ah, the toilet literature section.
Garbage
A
can.
fitting location for nearly everything in here. The most historic weenies this side of the Mississippi.
Let's talk to Bosco.
Hey, Bosco.
Greetings and well met, friend watchman for hire.
Sam, how come I suddenly have a primal desire to beat Bosco savagely?
Because he's talking like a Renaissance Fair attendee, Max. It's an innate fight-or-flight response.
I am El Bosco Drill, the unhinged, mighty half-elf ranger.
He's half an elf, so he only has one elf ear. Why'd you become an elf, Bosco?
Okay, Bosco. While Max prepares the Thorazine, why don't you tell us why you've become an elf?
Half elf. And I'll tell you why. I've had multiple delivery conspiracies, I've had missiles aimed at me, and now I got rival arms dealers setting up shop in my store.
Point being?
It's not safe for me here anymore. I gotta take my business the only place I can feel 100% secure. The internet.
Yeah. Because you're 100% secure on the internet. No, you aren't.
What does this internet doohickey have to do with being an elf?
Half elf! It's because everyone on the internet has to pick an avatar, like a dwarf or an orc, or a hot young 15-year-old girl curious about the adult world and willing to experiment.
I didn't think it was possible, but he's actually less creepy as the elf.
Half elf, fool! I never mind. You guys don't understand how computers work.
So you're taking your store online.
You're taking your store online?
Where will that leave us? We fear and mistrust computers.
Don't worry, guys. My online store will offer twice the inconvenience at thrice the price.
Well, see you there.
So how's business, Bosco?
How's business, Bosco?
Business is deader than a valet parking attendant at a convention of mob informants.
That bad, huh?
That rat showed up and started taking all my customers. Free enterprise, Jack.
Say what you will, the rat knows his anarcho-capitalist economic philosophy.
Max, I only bought you those encyclopedias because you promised me you couldn't read.
We want to buy something from you.
We want to buy something.
I have the finest goods in all the land.
Tell him we'll pay him just to stop talking like that.
What would Squire care to purchase?
What have you got, Bosco?
What have you got?
Oh, not much. Just a virulent biological weapon.
All right!
Biological weapons? We don't like to judge.
Speak for yourself, Sam.
But isn't germ warfare a little on the south side of ethical?
I've got to compete to stay in the market, guys. If an arms dealer's gonna open up shop in my store, I've got to up the ante.
How much for the biological weapon?
All right. How much for this virulent biological weapon of yours?
$1 billion.
We'll take it.
What's another billion or so to the national deficit?
I'm sorry. For safety reasons, I no longer accept cash in the store. You'll have to pay online.
That's pretty inconvenient.
Thank you.
Let's see what else he has. Do you have any...
Do you have any dual-core processors with 512 megabyte cache?
Nay.
So, a dual core is a pretty low number of cores by today's standards. Even the cheapest of cell phones usually have 4. Well, you can get some really cheap ones that don't, but let's see what else he's got.
Do you have any chimpanzee-sized diapers?
Nay.
Do you have any barbecue plankton chips?
Nay.
Do you have any keychains with a +8 modifier to dexterity?
I wish.
Do you have any self-respect?
Nay.
Haha, tricked you.
No, I understood the question. I understood it all too well.
You sure do know how to suck the fun out of everything, Bosco. Do you have any Lombos?
He's stale.
Do you have any dual-core processors with 512 megabyte cache?
Nay.
Okay, so we've gone in circle.
On second thought, nothing for us now.
As thy wish. But don't blame me when you're stuck in the torched wastelands with nary a bag of enchantment to defend thyself.
Let's see him later.
See you later, Bosco.
To the battle! Godspeed, defenders of the Shire!
So, episode 4, Abe Lincoln Must Die, the episode before this, was pretty long because it was stretched out in a bad way. Now that we've got new things to click on that will say new things, this might be sort of long just because we're going to discover all the items.
Prune nuts.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about something else.
What's in the coffee?
Look at those poor little pockets of air, desperately trying to escape certain decaffeinated doom.
What's in the sludgy machine?
Sludgies. This week's flavors? Potion of giant strength and elixir of dwarven flatulence.
False advertising! I've drunk a gallon of the red potion and I still don't have giant strength.
Actually, the giant strength is the green one.
Oh, yeah.
Get your red-hot hotness right inside.
I think that's a new animation for the microwave, too. It does. Maybe they didn't animate this section, but when it zooms in, that's
Get your
definitely
red-hot
new.
hotness right inside.
Nachos.
I'm not sure which is more terrifying, the cheese on the nachos or the free toilet brush that comes with them.
And condiments.
Some remarkably useful ketchup.
Yeah, let's try the bathroom.
Ooh, fun.
Terror sign.
Bathroom terror level thankfully holding steady. Your standard tongue repossession disclaimer. The site of Max's eventual cryogenic hibernation. Fluids so well preserved they're nearly fit to drink.
I'm noticing that they spent some more time to actually show little zoom ins of the things you're clicking on too.
A fitting location for nearly everything in here.
It's better that way. I don't think we've ever clicked on these big smokes or the clock.
When little smokes just won't do. A clock that only ever tells you what time it's not.
And then the price list, if we click on this,
We want to buy something.
it
What would
takes us
Squire
back to
care to
this
purchase?
section. Never mind.
Nothing for us now, thanks.
Let's talk to Jimmy Two Teeth.
Well, if it isn't our favorite ethically challenged rat, Jimmy Two Teeth.
Sam was wondering where you'd scampered off to.
I'm touched.
I was wondering what embarrassing pose we'd use when we had you stuffed and mounted.
Yeah, I'm scared out of my wits.
Bosco
gonna
is
buy
following
something or what?
us. Is watching us with binoculars. What's up for sale?
What's a two-bit crook like you trying to sell this time?
I'll ignore that petty insult for the sake of a successful transaction. I'm selling the latest in interpersonal defense.
You're an arms dealer?
You make it sound so cheap. I deal in peace of mind.
So what have you got in stock, arms dealer?
What have you got in stock?
Yeah, right now I only got this cannon. You guys look like you should just start out with handguns.
We've already got handguns.
Oh yeah? Where?
Just trust him on that one.
How much for the cannon?
How much for that cannon?
The
It's
cannon
not
could
for
work
sale.
on Sybil.
Worst arms dealer ever.
It's not for sale to you guys. I don't sell to the police. Call it my own ethical code.
But we're just barely police.
Yeah, I seen how you guys work. I sell it to you, and next thing I know, the bunny's got it pointed right at me.
Okay. Sell us that cannon, Jimmy.
Sell us the cannon, Jimmy.
I already told you, it's not for sale.
Alright, well then we'll just arrest you.
Freelance Police, Mr. Teeth. You're under arrest.
Come along quietly and we'll only use excessive force instead of medieval.
Just try it, pigs. Last time I checked, it was a free country.
I'm working on that.
Seriously, you're under arrest.
Enough games, Jimmy. You're under arrest.
I know my rights. New federal mandate for armament appropriation, and I quote, "No citizen shall be prevented from setting up shop without a license and in someone else's store to sell dangerous weapons indiscriminately to the highest bidder."
Who in his right mind would pass such an irresponsible law?
I couldn't help it, Sam. The gun lobby has these unbelievable gift baskets.
What have you been up to? Let's
What have you
ask
been up
that.
to, Jimmy?
You know, the usual knitting, working on my tan. What do you think I've been up to? Starting a business ain't easy.
The Better Business Bureau is going to be hearing about that attitude of yours, mister.
Did you get tired of the White House,
Get
Jimmy?
bored lounging in the White House pond?
Who was lounging, smart guy? I was networking. Turns out DC's a great place to get tips on being an arms broker.
Maybe it was a bad idea to move the Oval Office back here, Sam.
Still running with the skin bodies?
You still running with the skin bodies?
I found I no longer agreed with their extremist views.
More like you got a little chilly.
Or got tired of seeing your repulsive pink flesh every morning.
Let's just say I left for a variety of reasons.
Give it up, Jimmy.
It's not too late to make an honest rat out of yourself, Jimmy.
Or a bookend, or a doorstop.
People want weapons, I sell them weapons. What could be more honest?
Okay, so we're not getting this cannon that
See you later,
easily.
Jimmy.
Maybe if you can find me.
So we got some binoculars, we got some other stuff we're gonna have to deal with, and we're gonna try and get this cannon. Otherwise, I have no idea where we're gonna go or what we're gonna do. But we'll save all that for the next recording because we are done with this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.